Last week, the Honorary Consul of Italy to St. Kitts and Nevis, Mr. Ernest Amory, was presented with a knighthood in the Order of the Star of Italy. Mr. Amory is a stellar businessman. He is the owner and chairman of Amory Enterprises, and Mr. Amory is also well known for his consistent philanthropy within the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So today, Good Morning SKN warmly welcomes Mr. Ernest Amory to find out more about your knighthood.
Welcome.
Does that give you a new title?
No.
No.
Its name is still Ernest Amory.
Oh. No, it's still Ernest Amory. It doesn't give you nothing. You don't get. Do you get some letters behind your name?
Well, I get to have pasta for life.
Oh.
Just teasing you. No.
Okay, so were you aware that you were going to be presented with the Order of the Star of Italy, or was it a pleasant surprise?
It was not total surprise.
Yeah, okay.
The former ambassador, Mr. Maximo Ambrosetti, he contacted me about 18 months ago.
Okay.
And he wanted to get my resume. And I thought it was quite strange because he had received that many years ago, 19, almost 20 years before.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And so I was thinking that there was something going on. Whenever someone asks you a resume,
That's
you know
true.
that they're thinking something about you.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when the knighthood was approved, and this took a few months, during that time was the pandemic. And so the ambassador could not make it to St. Kitts.
Okay.
And during that time as well, we had a new ambassador who came in. That's His Excellency Fabrizio Nicolotti.
Nicolotti,
Okay?
yes.
I knew he was coming to St. Kitts, but I did not know that he was going to present the knighthood at that time. So in that case, it was a surprise, but I knew it was coming at some point in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what exactly is the Order of the Star of Italy?
I have to read up on that a little bit more. But however, what I do know is that it is given to representatives of the Italian government who have provided exceptional service in a foreign country, who have brought the Italian way of life to certain sectors of that country. And so for serving Italy for 20 years, the government of Italy thought it was important to recognize me for my services, for all I've done throughout these years.
Okay, that's exciting. So how long have you been the Honorary Consul of Italy?
For 20 years.
20 years,
20
right?
years, March would have made 20 years this year.
Yesterday, aren't you also the Honorary Consul for Switzerland?
Switzerland?
Yes, I am the Honorary Consul General of Switzerland.
Consul General
And
of
the first one in St.
Okay.
Kitts.
Interesting. Didn't know that. So, okay, so you're also the Honorary Consul of Switzerland. Are there any differences between that role and being the Consul of Italy?
No, practically they're all the same, providing assistance to the citizens of Italy and Switzerland
That are in St. Kitts and Nevis.
that are in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I see.
A lot of times I get the question, do you speak Italian? And how do you get the position as Honorary Consul of Italy? I do not speak Italian.
Okay.
And I want to clear this up. If I was representing St. Kitts in China, then I'll have to speak Chinese because I represent the people in St. Kitts in China who are Kittitians, represent my country in China. Now I'm representing the Italians who live in St. Kitts and the Swiss who live in St. Kitts. So they have to adopt the St. Kitts lifestyle by speaking the language and following the culture. Therefore, they speak English.
Yes.
And therefore, I don't need to speak Italian or Dutch or German, for example.
All right. Very interesting.
So what are some of your duties other than interacting with those two citizenships?
Yeah. So my duty on a government level is to negotiate with the government for assistance to the Italian or Swiss government. Now you might want to find what assistance do the Italians and government need, especially Switzerland, a very rich country.
Yes.
On the international stage at the United Nations, each country has one vote. So no matter how big you are or how powerful you are, like the United States, they have one vote, and St. Kitts has one vote. And there are times when the Italian government or Swiss government would like to recommend someone for an appointment at the UN, and they need St. Kitts to vote for that person. In that case, that's where I come in. I need to lobby the government to get that vote for the Swiss or the Italian government. There was a time when the Swiss government, back in 2006, wanted me to represent them. The Italian government didn't want that. They wouldn't allow me to. It would have been a conflict because both persons can want the same position at the UN, and I would have. What do I do then if I have to represent both? And for 15 years, the Swiss kept trying and trying until eventually the Italians decided, okay, they'll share me. And so when that was agreed to, the formalities of appointing me went very swiftly, and I think within 2 or 3 weeks I was appointed.
Persistence is the key. It paid off.
It really is. But,
Yes,
the Italians did give him the order. They did give him the star, the knighthood. So,
So you asked about what other duties do I do?
Yes.
The cruise ships come in during the season. They come in frequently, sometimes every day, and most of the ships that come in, they're registered in Italy. From the Costa line, yes. So I would have to sign documents when each crew member comes on the ship or departs the ship, when a new captain comes on the ship to guide the ship along the way, or if he's leaving the ship. There have been difficult times throughout the years. Sometimes you have an Italian citizen who needs medical assistance. So I need to make sure that is done to look after them. There was a situation some years ago where an Italian citizen was detained for 3 months at the Her Majesty's prison. Not directly in, he wasn't convicted, but he was on the bench, falsely accused by a crew member, a passenger. And eventually he was exonerated. But nevertheless, I had to be there for him and his family for 3 months. And so these are things that the responsibilities that you have to take on and agree to. The appointment of an honorary consul is not, you don't ask for it. It is offered to you. And it's offered to you sometimes from the government where you're living, like in St. Kitts. The government has to agree for your appointment. So the sending state, which is Italy or Switzerland, has to communicate after you've agreed to accept that position. They have to communicate with the receiving state, which is St. Kitts. And once that is done, then you're on your way to get an approval. But getting approval also means an extensive background check to make sure that you are of a worthy standing person. You have the criminal records, you have a contact, and you're respected in your community, that you have some charisma, that you can negotiate with the government, and also look after the interests of both countries. Because although I represent Switzerland or Italy, I still look after the interests of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Indeed.
There are times we need scholarships, so I get scholarship for persons who are finished in school. I will get sport equipment, medical equipment, school supplies, whatever our government needs, they will come through my office, and whatever the Swiss or Italian government need, they will also come through my office. I'm a buffer between both governments.
All right.
We want to know now, when was Amory Enterprises established in the Federation?
Well, Amory Enterprises was established 1949, February 17th.
1949, eh?
1949, yes.
Wow, that's a long
My
time.
father, who started with 5 pounds of flour.
5 pounds of flour.
And have grown throughout the years. He had a very difficult upbringing. He did not know his father. His father left just before he was born. Went to the Dominican Republic, but never came back. And so I say this to say that to teach your young people, do not allow any difficult times in your life to deter you from your goals.
Yes.
Okay, you have to be strong mentally, self-focused, and work hard, and never give up.
Never give up.
And so my father never gave up, and he worked hard and was determined to succeed.
Yes.
And so therefore, I have a lot of respect for his accomplishments.
Yes.
And my brother, my departed brother, bless his soul, Reggie Amory.
Yes.
He worked very closely with me, hand in hand, to carry on the family business.
Yes. So everybody knows that you have bakeries. Are there any other businesses within the Amory Enterprises umbrella?
Yes, we have a business I think most people know is called Palms Good Gardens.
Oh, yes.
And my son Charlie Amory, who is a chef, just came back to St. Kitts.
Oh, yes.
He will be he's taken over that business.
Oh, wonderful.
So I encourage everyone to come and visit Palms Good.
And try out the new chef.
Yes, try the new
Charlie.
chef, yes.
Okay, that's
We
very
also
exciting.
have an ice cream business.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and we also are very big in real estate, as well as another branch of the bakery is called the Amory Cafe
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
on Liverpool Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the cafe. You guys have a lot of nice breads in there. Now you've got the star of Order of Italy. Are we going to see some more Italian bread?
Yes, we want to actually improve our line of breads, have a larger variety, and that will come in due time.
So both Italian and Swiss bread.
Well, European bread is practically the
Pretty
same.
much the same.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got you.
But pastries, we need to improve also on our pastries. So
Oh, yeah.
in our business, it doesn't end because you've reached a certain standard. It's always evolving.
Lovely.
And therefore, we need to improve the standards as the country and the world change. We have to change with the world.
Yes.
We have to offer the services that the people require, our customers require, as well as the products. Introduce new products and keep everyone excited about what's
Yeah.
when they come into the business, they must be able to see something new and improve service. That's the most important thing. I'm not in business about the money necessarily about the money. The money will come, but what's important is the service and the product.
Yeah.
So make sure you provide the best service and the best quality product.
Nice.
So let's talk about your philanthropy. Tell us about the food giveaway distribution during the height of COVID-19.
That's a very good question. Before the pandemic finally hit St. Kitts, I saw it coming. Most people were not really paying attention to what was happening outside of St. Kitts.
Yes.
And when it finally hit the country, everybody was shocked. It was devastating. But I also felt that the pandemic would not just end on people getting sick and dying. Economically, it was going to be devastating for the world, which it did. And I said that months before it really happened. And so I was paying attention as well to the daily briefings from the COVID team. And I decided, I always love to give, and I got that sense of giving from my
From your
father.
dad.
Yeah. And I wanted to do something big. So I called up the director. Don't recall his name right now. That's Mr.
At the time,
Everybody, the memory is for everybody.
it's just coming out of my head right now, but I know just when you're
Okay.
speaking up.
Yes. When I told him I'd like to offer 50,000 loaves of bread
Yes.
and 50,000 buns to the Kittitians and 11,000 loaves of bread, 11,000 buns to Nevis. He says, well, that is fantastic. Come to the studio and make the announcement. And so I went and decided to do that.
Okay.
And so we gave all the products away, especially during the time when the people needed it most.
Yes.
Because prior to the pandemic, we were always given, and the people took it because it was given to them. They really didn't need it. But during the pandemic, that is when they
Really,
needed
there
it
was a
most.
great
Yes.
need.
So I felt very good to give because in the end, we have to decide how we want to be remembered in this world. We're just passing through. So you can decide how you want to be remembered as a good person, a good businessman who always gave back to the community, a good host, a good mother, a good father, etc. And so that was my decision to give and to continue to give. And even in this time, as we recover, we have some good news that starting 1st of June, next month, every afternoon, 1 hour before we close, all products will be sold at buy one, get one free. Until the end of November.
Awesome.
Okay,
So
every
in
day,
case you missed it,
6
there's
days a week.
BOGO. There's BOGO at Amory. Buy one and get one free.
Every evening, 1 hour before closing time.
Yes, and what time is 1 hour before closing
So
time?
during the week, Monday to Thursday,
Yes.
it is between 6 and 7. 7 o'clock is closing time. And on Fridays and Saturdays, between 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I've noticed the lines during the pandemic and after when you had a BOGO before. So it's going to be longer now. So then you're going to be open probably until 9?
No, we'll go until 8.
Okay.
No, we have the 1 hour.
Okay.
You know, we're really trying.
Yes.
Okay.
The cost of
We
living
appreciate that.
has increased for everyone.
Yes,
Everyone.
it really has. It's difficult to feed your family.
For example, just a few months ago, back in November, flour costs was $103 a bag, £100 bag. Now it's $165 a bag.
Of course, yeah.
And all other ingredients have increased.
Yeah.
But we try our best to do what we can to help the
Yeah.
society
And we
here
really
and our
appreciate
customers
that.
in
We
general.
appreciate that.
That's amazing. So thank you. It's so important that we give back to the community, and congratulations.